Hey guys, welcome back to our vegan kitchen. We've got something not that junk foody today.
Ooh.
So, who doesn't love donuts? Raise your hand.
Crickets.
I don't see anybody's hand go up, so I'm assuming that you love donuts as much as I do. So donuts are generally not that good for you because they're fried or they have animal products in them.
Sugar.
Or, yeah, sugar. So we're going to try and do slightly healthy donuts today. Not calorie free by any means, so you still have to eat these in moderation, but generally healthier than regular donuts that you would get at Dunkin' Donuts. Alright, so the sugar in these is going to be replaced by Medjool dates. I've already pitted these. All of the measurements will be in the info box, so make sure you check it out below and it will be all lined up. These are what the Medjool dates look like when you buy them in the store. Sometimes if you have them a little bit longer, they're a little bit senior, you can soak these in some hot water and they'll soften up again. So if your dates are hard, just soak them a little bit. And then you pit them, and then you put some of the liquid from the, just a little bit, like a tablespoonful, to help it blend a lot easier. You don't want to kill your blender on some Medjool dates. So, since we're blending this, we're going to add some liquid, because it's going to be really difficult to blend like this. So we're going to put in some vanilla that I'm not going to measure, but the measurement will be in the info box. I'm also going to put in some lemon juice. This is going to help it rise. It's going to activate the baking powder and the baking soda. And then the main liquid, I'm using oat milk, but you can use any kind of non-dairy milk that you want. If you didn't want to use a milk, you could probably use like seltzer. That might help them puff up a little bit too. But we're putting in 2/3 of a cup. If you're having a problem blending it, I would suggest adding a tablespoon or two of liquid and then just adding an extra little bit of flour when you go to mix the dry ingredients in, because it's no fun trying to blend it when it's not working. No one's having any fun then. We're ready to blend. You can also do this in a food processor. I'm doing it in the Blendtec because I got one. So we could do just a regular speed thing, but let's just do sauces and dips. Okay, so you can see that there's kind of still pieces in there. It's good like that, because then it's like a little pocket of caramel in there. Or you could blend it totally smooth into a paste. That's up to you, but either way is fine. Now is the time of the show when we add some peanut butter. This is going to be what's going to give it the oil. So we're not using any butter or overt fats. We're just going to use a little bit of peanut butter. I'm not going to measure this, but I'm going to say it looks like 1/4 of a cup. Ooh, that looks nice. Okay.
Let's see it. Ooh.
It's pretty blendy.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so that looks like 1/4 of a cup.
Plop.
Yep, it's a plop. I'm just going to blend in the peanut butter and we'll be ready to mix our wet and dry ingredients together. So we're back with the dry ingredients. We've got flour. You can make these gluten-free with gluten-free flour. I'm using regular flour today because that's what I've got. You could probably even use oat flour. It'd probably be pretty good. We've got some tapioca starch, which is also known as tapioca flour. That's used a lot in gluten-free baking. It helps the baked goods be a little less brittle. It's just there for fun. Some cinnamon, some nutmeg, some baking powder, some baking soda, and I think that's everything. Now we're just going to scrape out the blender and get our date mixture in there. We're going on a date and we're gonna have donuts. Date donuts. You know what I forgot to do?
What?
And it's still not too late. I wanted
your dry ingredients.
I wanted to mix my dry ingredients together because I didn't want any cinnamon clumps in there. See, it's not too late. So even if you F the whole thing up, you could still fix it. There you go. Alright, so now let's get the date mixture in there for reals. It smells so good already. We made these last night and they were amazing.
Ready for round 2.
Alright, I've got my oven heating up to 350. I've got my date mixture on top of the dry mixture, so we're gonna marry the two together. And we're almost ready for donuts. These take like almost no time at all in the oven. They're very quick. Yeah, they're almost the same as like a cookie. It's only 13 to 15 minutes in the oven.
Whoa.
So if this is too dry, feel free to add a little bit more liquid. Depending on the humidity, I find sometimes the flour is a little drier and it sucks up the liquid a little bit more, which is why everybody should be using scales to measure their dry ingredients, but nobody ever does that unless you live in Europe. So it looks a little dry, so I'm just gonna add like a tablespoon or so of oat milk. It's going to be quite thick anyway, but you want all of the flour to at least get soaked up. You don't want to have any dry patches in there. It's real dough. And I left some of the date in there, so that's going to be a lovely little surprise, almost like a cinnamon bun.
It smells so good.
It is so good, that's why. So I've got my donut pan here. This is non-stick, so I'm not going to use any spray oil or anything in there. I'm going to try and divide this into 6 equal portions. Just going to try and eyeball it first, but I'm going to wet my fingers and flatten them down. So in case you didn't realize, this makes 6 donuts. 6 healthy sized donuts. Rather than have the tap running, I just like to put a little water in the bowl that we've been using. And you're going to want to flatten these as much as you can.
Don't forget your donut hole.
That's right. It's right there. Clear it out. Alright, that looks pretty good. As soon as the oven beeps, we're going to put these in for 13 to 15 minutes. I would go on the lighter side because you don't want them to dry out. So depending on how hot your oven is, some ovens are hotter than others. I did 13 minutes last night, and I think I'm probably going to do 13 again today. Beautiful donuts. They came right out of the pan, and they've been cooling for several hours. We wanted to make sure that they were cool, plus we had to eat lunch and everything. So now you can eat these just as is, and they're delicious. But we're going to give you an option. We're going to do a chocolate ganache glaze.
Yum.
So in the bowl over here, I have some powdered sugar and some raw cacao powder. And I'm just going to add a little bit of refined coconut oil. And I'm also going to add a little bit of the oat milk, just to thin it out. Now, once this gets mixed up, this glaze sets up pretty quickly. Again, depending on the humidity, you may have to adjust the liquids. This comes together really quickly. It doesn't look like that little amount of liquid is going to make this liquid, but it does.
Yeah, you just got to work it. And you'll be amazed. Ta-da!
Yeah. So this would be a good frosting, this thickness. But should we frost it or should we just take it a little thinner and dip
It's up to you.
Well, let's...
The frosting might be kind of nice.
Let's show one, like, frosted. Right? That's pretty nice.
That is beautiful. Could even put some little sprinkles on there.
Oh, yeah. And then we'll thin it up just a little bit more, and we will dip it. You really don't need a lot at all to make it thin.
No, a little goes a long way.
Yeah. So let's do a dipper.
You're beautiful.
Yeah. All right, let me dip the rest of these and then we'll be ready for tasting. Well, there you go.
It's so beautiful.
Right? Pick the one that speaks to your soul.
Ah! They all look amazing.
Do you want a fork or are you just going to pick it up?
I think I need a fork. Just 'cause,
Okay.
like, I hate having like stuff
I
on
know.
my fingers.
I know.
I'm just tasting it right now, but I'm having one in a little bit. I'm having this before Dungeons and Dragons. This looks like a nice little.
Okay, that
little
looks
baby.
pretty perfect.
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Whoa.
Right?
So good.
Better than yesterday's? Yeah.
The chocolate takes it to another level.
Yeah.
Wow. So good.
All right.
Dang, that is nice.
I don't need to say another thing. I think that said it all.
That
So
is fantastic.
I hope you guys give it a shot. It was really quick. You need to whip something up quick. Somebody's coming over, an occasion. It's somebody's birthday. Chances are the cake's not going to be vegan. Bring some donuts with you. People will really, really love them. So smash the like button, subscribe for more, and until next time, much love.